Om Tat Sat. Welcome to Gyan Bhakti. We are currently studying the divine scripture, Mysticism of Ramayana. Commentaries by my Guruji, Swami Jyotirmayanandaji, narrated by myself, Swami Nikhilananda. We are currently studying the Kishkinda Kand. So yesterday we covered the story of Sampati and him showing the direction to the monkeys and bears on how to approach Sita. Like all the colorful stories of the Ramayana, the story of Jatayu and Sampati is rich with mystic meaning. According to Vedic teachings, an aspirant ascends the spiritual ladder by passing through three stages. He begins with karma or ritualistic performance, then succeeds in upasana or devout meditation, and then becomes established in jnana or wisdom. Viewed from this perspective, Jatayu represents karma or the traditional ritualistic aspect of religion. Sampati, his brother, represents the next higher stage in which rituals have become enhanced by upasana. Finally, Hanuman represents the process of jnana that leads to destruction of Ravana. Ravana implies ignorance. Like Jatayu, mere ritualism cannot free the mind from bondage. It can offer protection and guidance and point the way to freedom, but it must itself die or be transcended in the spiritual process. However, like Sampati, whose sharp eyes can actually see Sita meaning purified intellect, Upasana has the power to spur the aspirant right to the heights of intuitive wisdom. When Jatayu and Sampati were young, they tried to reach for that sun of divine wisdom. Jatayu realized his limitations and gave up. Sampati, however, knew he had greater power and flew close enough to lose his feathers. The feathered wings that, mystically speaking, kept him flying in the relative world of time and space. Though bereft of his feathers and terribly injured, Sampati was nourished and blessed by sage Chandrama. Chandrama literally means the moon and is symbolic of the bliss aspect of the divine self. The mind, stripped of the wings of attachment and hatred, bereft of the feathers of the outgoing senses, continues to enjoy the bliss of the self in an internalized manner. With the passage of time, after having the vision of Hanuman and the monkey army, a transformation occurred in Sampati and he gained new wings. Similarly, the mind gains the wings of discriminative knowledge and dispassion and numerous feathers of divine virtues and is ready to fly before the and beyond the confines of the egoistic vision, thus paving the way for the unfoldment of jnana or knowledge, which is the next stage. Interestingly enough, the Raja Yoga Sutras of Patanjali Maharishi refer to that state as samapatti. It is the state in which the mind becomes pure like a crystal and is identified with its object of meditation in a spontaneous way. This is Raja Yoga, Sutra number 41, chapter 1. Most probably, Sampati is a modification of the term Samapatti, as pointed by sage Patanjali. In brief, in spiritual movement, one must overcome three impediments or obstacles. Mala is gross impurity by karma or ritualistic practices. Second is vikshepa or mental distractions by upasana or devout meditation. And the third is avarana, the veil of ignorance by jnana or knowledge. The passing away of Jatayu marked the destruction of Mala. The new emergent wings and feathers of Sampati marked the removal of Vikshepa. And in the forthcoming episode, Hanuman dramatizes the movement in Jnana, a process that culminates in the destruction of the last obstacle, Avarana. So the next episode, let's move to Jambavan awakens the power of Hanuman. So when the monkeys and bears heard of Sampati's vision of Sita across the ocean in Lanka, they were overjoyed. But who among them had the strength to cross that vast ocean and return? One by one, each of the most powerful monkeys and bears asserted their strength and then was overcome by diffidence over the immensity of the task. As this was going on, Hanuman sat quietly, never uttering a word. Then Jambavan, turning to Hanuman, said, "O Hanuman, why are you so quiet? You, who are the son of the wind god, invested with immense power, wisdom, strength, how is it that you are so quiet? Is there any work in this world which is impossible for you? O child, you have incarnated for fulfilling the mission of Rama, and that is the sole purpose of your existence." With these words, Jambavan sought to awaken in Hanuman the knowledge of the latent strength that he had long forgotten. According to the popular story, Hanuman was the son of the monkey couple Anjana Devi and Kesari. Because he was born by the blessings of the wind god, or Pavan Putra he is called, he is also known as the son of the wind god. Even when he was a small infant, he was endowed with power beyond human imagination. One morning, Hanuman's mother left him alone while she was performing her duties. She looked upon into the sky and saw the sun rising, appearing to him like a wonderful fruit. Eager to devour it, Hanuman playfully leaped into the sky with the amazing power that he possessed, even as a child. From the heavens, Indra saw this and hurled a thunderbolt, thinking that some demon was going to obstruct the order of the world by destroying the sun. Struck by that thunderbolt, Hanuman fell down unconscious with a newly formed little twist on his chin. Hanuman literally means twisted chin. Seeing his son in that condition, the wind god, Hanuman's divine father, became so furious that he stopped the wind function in the bodies of all beings. As a result, all gods and human beings became utterly miserable because they couldn't digest their food. In despair, Brahma and all the gods pleaded before the wind god to be merciful. They promised that they would not only revive Hanuman, but that each of them would bestow upon him a unique power. The wind god agreed, and thus the baby Hanuman received great blessings from the gods. Indra gave him the blessing that thunderbolt could never hurt him anymore. Brahma gave him the blessing that even Brahmastra itself, the all-powerful weapon of Brahma, could not hurt him. With these and other blessings, he was made invulnerable to all forces and returned to his mother. As a child, Hanuman could not control that immense power he possessed. Whenever he was just a little naughty or mischievous, as all children generally are, his pranks would create great havoc. If he touched a tree, the whole tree would fall down. If he threw a little rock, the great momentum of that rock would knock over an entire hut. As a result, Hanuman unwittingly became a force of tremendous devastation, and people became terribly upset with him. One sage angrily cursed him, saying, "O Hanuman, you have forgotten and you will forget all the boons that you have been given to you and not have that awareness of your own strength until there is a divine need." Thus, until the moment when Jambavan spoke to him besides the ocean and awakened his self-knowledge, Hanuman lived on as a more sober monkey, unaware of his extraordinary capacity. However, when he heard the inspiring words of Jambavan, Hanuman immediately grew to a gigantic size, and his body became like an effulgent mountain of gold. Roaring like a lion, he declared, "Crossing this salty ocean is just a playful sport for me. O monkeys and bears, I will cross this ocean kill Ravana and all his relatives and yank the Trikuta mountain right out of the earth and throw it into the ocean. O child, Jambavan said, do not do all those things. Just cross the ocean and find Sita and come back and tell us where she is. Leave the rest to Sri Rama and his army of monkeys and bears. When Rama is victorious in this mission, his glory will spread throughout the universe and his praises will be sung for all time. So we will continue this journey in tomorrow's satsang. This is Swami Nikhilananda. Om Tat Sat.